Welcome back to Ageless Body Clinic. I'm Dr. Maha Naeem, and I am here to talk today about something which is, I think, there is something like a conspiracy. Against health. So let's talk a little bit about why I think so. So the first thing is there is this assumption or this understanding that disease is something separate from us and it just comes and haphazardly attacks us, and then we're helpless. We're helpless to, we are sick, and then frantically we go to healthcare and, please give us the elixir of treatments, which is usually chemistry, chemical things, chemical compounds, or maybe surgery, depending. Now, obviously, I'm an MD, and I do believe that there is a time and place for drugs, and there's a time and place for surgery. But there's a long way before we need that. So the first one is I want to, correct the assumption that we're helpless. That's not true. We are not helpless. Disease happens based on decisions we make, what we eat, how we live our lives. Are we sedentary? Are we active? That's one. And the other one is the importance of the emotional state of us. That's also one of the major things that get overlooked with, let's say, allopathic medicine or like the orthodox way of looking at things, although it's changing a little bit, but still most doctors think from the premise that emotions have not really much to do with health, other than mental health, obviously. So I'm here to argue against that, and I would say that's not true. Actually, our emotional state has a lot, if not all, that has to do with disease. Which is why working with your emotional well-being is way more important than you think. So in addition to food, which is something you hear a lot about, how healthy eating is important, and I'm totally with that, okay? I'm totally on board with how healthy eating is important. And we need to know what we're eating and where it's coming from and what kind of energy it has. But that is not enough. Okay, it's not just that. We have to know what are we doing with our lives? How are we living our lives with people? For instance, are you in a toxic relationship? Are you in a toxic work environment? Right? Are you waking up in the morning wishing you didn't wake up? How do you think that's going to affect, of course it's going to affect our physiology. We are not separate from our physiology. Our state of mind, our emotional state, are not separate from our physiology. If there is a conspiracy, I would say this is it. The divorce in understanding between our mental state, emotional upheavals, and our physiology. They are totally linked. Okay? So it is in our hands to decide, do I want to be healthy or not? We don't get sick because we're aging. We age because we let ourselves age. There is really a big emphasis. I want people to understand that, earthing, taking off your shoes and putting the feet on the ground, going out in the sun, breathing fresh air. These are the ABCs of health, and somehow people forgot about it. Artificial lighting. If you're indoor all day and getting all those LED lights, which are on the blue spectrum, and they're not giving you the red light, which our physiology went with. So there's a whole world of what health is really, and how do you keep your body working. And it's being overlooked with this thinking that, okay, I go to the doctor, gives me a pill, and everything will be fine. That's not the case, and you don't want to be dependent on something else. And chemistry is not the only way of restoring the body's health. There is a revolution actually in medicine, using color, using sound, using frequencies, using even informational fields that are being used worldwide to promote a gentle way of helping the body to get back into its homeostasis, into a health state. And I think most people are either dismissive of it, or they don't trust it, or they don't understand it, or they're not familiar with it. Remember, modern medicine was also new and unfamiliar at some point. It's only been in vogue for about, 100 years? So I think I'm a big advocate of including the other modalities, which usually don't have the harsh effects and the side effects that drugs and pharmaceuticals could have. Having said that, as I said, I know that there is a place and time for the pharmaceuticals, but they're not the only answer. They're not the only thing that you need. So think about it, make a decision. How do you want to live your life? Obviously, if you say, I don't want to care about this, I don't want to think, I just want to do what I'm doing and go to the doctor to give me pills, that's totally your choice. But if you're somebody who's more into like, no, I'm responsible for myself, I want to live well, I want to be healthy, I want to move about, then it is really in your hands. And the information now is so available, it's so easy to start.